50,000 euros in dispute and invoice of over 3,000 euros plus court costs, plus my attorney's fees. And all of this because of 6 gemstone bottles and 3 stones. I'm Julia, and thank you for being here. For me, it's a heavy burden as a single mother working in animal protection. When I was briefly unemployed in 2023, I thought I'll use the time and started training for permanent youth structures. But shortly after that, I found work in animal protection again, just like I had worked in animal protection before. I continued with the training anyway. The father of my son lives in Asia, and because of that, we travel somewhere in Asia for about 1 to 2 months every year and meet up there. I started noticing more and more of the animals there, especially the many street animals. And then I started increasingly, as people were no longer traveling on tourist routes as much and were becoming more and more independent, they naturally noticed this more and more. It increasingly became about the financial aspect. Because, of course, when I see this animal suffering, I always help, which many tourists unfortunately do not do, I have to say. They are either very blind to this suffering or at least do not intervene. It is of no use to a dog that has wounds down to the bone if you say, oh dear, oh, but then you just get in your bus and drive on to the next beach. Exactly, and those are the situations where I always take action. And now it's such that I really go there with bags full of food. And then I actually provide food, water, and medication there daily. Many animals there have worms or skin diseases. You can easily help a street animal just by providing food, but it's also quite expensive. For each animal, it costs between 25 to 50 euros if you buy it there, depending on what's available. And usually it's not just one animal that you meet there every day. And then there are also animals that are really seriously ill, like those with large wounds and so on, which you really have to take to the vet. I have done all of these things and continue to do so increasingly over the years, more and more. But it's obviously quite burdensome when you only have this single parent healing salary from animal welfare. And so it increasingly became noticeable that it was having a significant financial impact. Then I discovered some very beautiful gemstone bottles in Bali where we were last year. And I had never seen anything like it before. I thought it was very pretty. They had them there in Newwood in stores everywhere. So I bought one for myself, one for my sister, and my son wanted one too. Broken on the way, but anyway, 3 bottles for sure. Exactly. Then we flew back home. That was around summer last year. And so during this time, my face yoga training was also completed. And I thought, well, then I'll register a small business, because it could happen that if you start posing on social media or something, someone might ask, do you also offer private lessons, etc.? And then you can just say, sure, I can do that. So that's how it came about that I registered this small business. And somehow the gemstone bottles were also on the desk back then. And I thought maybe I could also set up a small online shop where I could offer these bottles